Bom dia, Portugal!
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show full of fun facts you need to know. Carl rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, GuMPers.
Hola, bon dia, alegria. Munson here with the Good Morning Portugal show live stream and podcast. Now, that is the humorous meme that I was starting the show with. I forgot to take off the screen, so I'm now hidden behind it. We had one or two little challenges this morning. Mrs. M, are you able to join us on the screen? Can you see anything yet?
I can't see anything, but can you see me?
We can hear you at the moment. So, do you want to say good morning? And may I be the first to wish you a very happy birthday?
You may.
Okay. And may I put your vision on? I have got a picture of you, but you just can't see yourself at the moment.
I can't see myself, but that's
okay, so
fine.
let's get this the right way around. So people, hey, have you done something with your energy this morning? It just feels so good.
No.
Mine doesn't. Mine's quite jangly because
Yeah.
I realise. Actually, do you know what?
It's a jangly day because Jupiter's changing signs.
Could you get a bit closer to your microphone? After
Sorry.
all we've been through together, there you are, sitting
Yeah.
half a mile away from the microphone without a camera. But you're a trooper. Go on.
On days when planets move from one sign to another, it tends to
Yes.
be really super jangly energy. But there is this moment in
I doubt
time
this morning.
at 2:33 p.m. Today, London time, UK time,
Yeah.
Lisbon time,
Yeah.
and it's don't move, darling. And it's
You're not talking to me there, are you?
sorry.
You weren't talking to me there.
No, I was talking to this little.
Well, although you have whispered that to me in my ear before now.
I can't.
Don't move, darling. I think. So go back to the jangly energies of the planets.
Jupiter is this like a planet to do with expansion. Everything he touches gets expanded, but also gets inflamed. So if you're going into situations today and you're feeling stressed out,
Yes.
it's likely to be emphasized. Whereas if you've got this really good feel good feeling,
Yes.
then you're likely to get more of that.
I have been on a high this morning, previously to starting the show, and then it became quite problematic.
Yeah.
It was a sort of series of events. But I was feeling a mile high this morning.
Yeah.
Is it that kind of roller
Well,
coaster
it's a
ride?
very
then?
dreamy energy because like 0 degrees Aries, which is
Right.
where Jupiter's going, and it happens every 12 years or so.
Yes.
It's 0 point Aries is like the start of the zodiac.
Yes.
Now, obviously, the zodiac is an arbitrary thing, but it's the thing that
What do
lots
you mean?
of people. Well, I mean, it's an imaginary point in the sky.
Okay.
Like if we were to put the
Who doesn't
constellations.
like an imaginary point in the sky, then, right?
But like, from our position on Earth, if we were to look up at the sky and look at the backdrop of all the constellations and spin around, we would see the whole zodiac or most of it.
Yeah.
And so over time, people have made this kind of agreed sort of backdrop. It's called the ecliptic, or we also know it as the zodiac.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not one of these astrologers that says,
I'm
"Oh,
not
I'm a
one of these
Sagittarius and
right.
you're a Cancer, therefore blah blah blah." But what I do is look at all the planets in somebody's chart based on their time, place, and date of birth. And so, what I'm about to share with you today is that Jupiter, he changes signs about every year, and he will go through the whole zodiac in 12 years approximately.
Yes.
Now, if you can remember where you were, and I'm going to give you a set of dates, if I can find.
Is this interactive astrology this morning then?
Yeah,
Your birthday gift to us.
Wow, yeah, it is. I mean, what I
Okay.
want you to know is like these patterns go round every 12 years.
Yeah.
So if you can think back to, and this might be a bit of a stretch, but what you were doing between June 2010 and June 2011.
Oh, to see if you had the same jangly energies.
Well, no, see what happens. Like wherever Jupiter goes in your chart, he's expanding things.
And this was the last time.
The last time it was in the sign of Aries.
Okay, this is an interesting experiment, then, isn't it?
Yeah, I
So
mean,
for the skeptics as well, they can look if they've got good memories. That is, they can
Yeah.
look, as in not as in good memories, as in pleasant memories. Although we wish you have pleasant memories of the dates Mrs. M's talking about.
Well, I mean, this is what I do with my clients. I will trace back to all of their most poignant moments. I will look back at all the big shifts that they've had in their life and work out what was going on, so that we can then start to predict from there.
Okay.
You know, it's about cracking everyone's personal code. But anyway,
hold on. What were those dates then?
June 6th.
Yeah.
Until September the 9th in 2010.
So summer of 2010. Ish.
Yeah, the summer of 2010.
Just so people can place it.
Yeah, summer of 2010, and then from January 2011 until June 2011.
Oh, okay. So that one more time.
The summer of 2010.
Yes.
And then from January 2011 to June 2011.
I was just.
Can you remember what you were doing back then?
I hadn't met you, had I?
You had.
I had met you.
We met, we conceived, we got engaged.
In the early of 2010.
We moved in together.
So there was plenty of Jupiter energy going on then.
Definitely.
Expansion,
I mean, there's nothing
business.
like a pregnancy to show that expansion.
Okay.
Definitely.
Right.
So like Jupiter transits definitely fit into things like when you might get pregnant, when you might start a business, when you might buy a house.
Women, isn't it?
The previous time it was in the sign of Aries.
Yeah.
Guess what I was doing?
I
wasn't pregnant, you know that.
No, go on, what were you doing?
I bought my first house, or my only house.
Oh, you make it sound like you're a property magnate. I bought my first house. Yes,
and that was between Valentine's Day, pretty much 1999.
Yeah.
To Valentine's Day 2000.
Yes.
So if you can remember where you were roughly at the time of the millennial new year,
yes,
and what was happening around that year, that will give you an idea as to the kind of expansion you were going through.
Yeah.
So in my birth chart, that corresponds to me shooting forwards in life in some way with my desired goals. So I'm quite excited about this one.
Yes.
And if you're a Sagittarian, if you've got your moon in Sagittarius, or if you've got your ascendant in Sagittarius, this will be a pretty strong year. Also, Jupiter, because it goes in 12-year cycles.
Yes.
If you're in one of those cycles of 36, 48, 60, I'm not going like 24. So if we're looking at multiples of 12. If you're in one of these birthday years, it's also quite a good year for you to move forwards in your life.
Yes, okay.
Because it corresponds with a pretty good Jupiter, a Jupiter position for you.
Yes, okay.
So what I would do, you know, if you've got a few minutes, is track back what you were doing during those times and look at where you were expanding. So it might not be, I mean, for some people, it might be that your waistline expanded.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah. That's pregnancy as well, isn't it?
Well, it could be.
Mm-hmm.
The last time Jupiter went over my ascendant, which is about my body, I expanded into this one. It's on my lap right now.
Pointing to a baby there, right? Okay.
But you know, you might find that you have expanded in terms of money, like money goals have been really good, or you might have like expanded through healing. You might have had this really great release. There are all sorts of things going on. A lot of it depends.
Who doesn't like? Yes.
A
great release first thing in the morning.
Yes,
Ian,
exactly.
are you seeing the screen yet? Can you try again? I don't see why you shouldn't be able to, quite frankly.
Right, I'm just trying now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I'd say. And if you want to actually learn how to do this, I'm going to start teaching astrology, like the bare bones. And
is the house going to be full of women learning astrology?
No, I'm going to do it online.
Okay.
And it's a regular commitment, and it's there'll be a very, very small fee.
Yes.
But I'm going to start it from the new year. And
did you see
my
how
aim,
sexist I was then?
Yeah.
Assuming that it would only be women.
Do you know what?
Right.
Most of the people that follow my channel are actually men. There's a lot of men that are tuning in to learn about astrology at the minute, because I think they realize they can plan their life. And so I want to teach 1,000 people how to decode their chart and start planning with astrology by the end of next year. So by this birthday next year.
Remember where you heard it first.
Yeah.
Folks.
So like, let people know if you know anyone that's interested.
And we thought we were going to retire on my YouTube income.
I don't think we're going to retire on my income. It's something I just want to do. I want to share the gift of it. It's a gift that keeps on giving.
I realised that.
And you know, if you don't want to wait and learn it yourself, then just go to my store, and I'll happily. You don't mind me plugging that, do you?
Do I have any choice? Go
not
on.
now.
Right. Okay.
But I'll happily work through your birth chart for you and
Right.
teach you how to do it yourself.
Okay. And are you seeing yourself yet?
No, not yet.
What's going on? Can you
It's still
restart?
loading.
Oh, it's still loading. Well, the computer's still loading.
No, StreamYard's just gone in to start loading.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're heading in the right direction. That's the main
Yeah,
thing.
we are. But I'm cool.
Okay,
I feel really
You do.
light
You
and
do.
buoyant.
And that's why I said to you, have you done something with your energy today? Because I'm noticing this, and mine is very different as well.
Well-
What happened? Is this the astrological marker then? That
Well,
we could...
it really could be. But I'm also I had a healing session yesterday, and I mean, we don't always talk about healing so much on this show, although there is that sort of underpinning
I've
of it.
not got a problem with it.
No,
go on.
but it's fair to say that Carl and I have been on quite an intense journey this last 6 months. You know, we've been trying to sort of iron out any kinks in what's like holding each of us back.
I've actually got more kinky, but you're not talking about that, are you?
No,
I've been experimenting with that as well.
So, in particular, I've been really working on some things in my own sort of energetic fields that I feel a little bit.
Yes.
Sorry if I'm sounding croaky, by the way. I'm actually feeling quite there.
Right, okay.
But
Go on then.
But yeah, I had a healing session yesterday, and I'm feeling really, really released because of it. So
Okay, all right. Well, do
it's
keep
a bit
speaking.
like I've had,
keep speaking into
you know,
that
like if
microphone
you
'cause it
have
really helps.
osteopathy
Yes.
after having a bad back for ages.
Yes, or chiropractic.
Yeah,
some people might be more familiar with, or
I actually feel
physiotherapy.
like I've had a cosmic version of that.
Okay. Now, I'm very keen that you see yourself on the screen
I
at
look
some point.
terrible.
Oh, so you couldn't see yourself. Now you can see yourself, and you don't want to see yourself. Is that right? The lighting, that helps. Okay, so I think we're all good here now, aren't we? And that took quite an effort. I've got to say, this morning has been. Do you know what the first? Quite honestly, the first thing I was going to do, or as soon as I got on air, was swear loads. And actually, you can still see. Don't look at it now, but I think you didn't manage to delete it, did you?
No.
The show that I thought that I deleted. Well, the show that I didn't realize I'd started at 8:30, I think is still there with me swearing on it for 45 seconds. And then I pressed to go on air, and I think I actually cut myself off. Those of you who live stream here will understand such frustrations.
Virtual background.
And what?
There's a virtual background here.
Is there?
And a blur. That's weird.
There's all kinds of weird stuff. So thank you for being here. Thank you for bearing with us, everybody. Because we've started the show twice this morning, and still people have managed to find us and follow us on YouTube. So thank you very much. I do trust you're all subscribed. We're heading towards that wonderful 1K on YouTube. So please do subscribe and get a reminder, if you will, customary YouTube housekeeping, as we get underway with Mrs. M's birthday special. We're both a bit sweaty and stressed already this morning.
I've got a really red face. I'm really flushed.
Well, join the club. I always look like that every morning. So that's on my Expats Portugal webinars. I look like the Portuguese flag when I've got a green jersey on, like I have this morning.
Oh, I'm wearing green today as well.
Yes, which is again an awful idea if you're using green screens, which one of us is doing. I'm not actually sitting next to a cockerel near a bridge in Portugal. Just in case I've shattered anyone's illusion there, it's a green screen, everybody. Okay. All right. And lots of lovely greetings. And I was waiting until you could see these. And you can see them now?
Yeah.
You can. Good. Okay. And I'm going to, I've got a little birthday surprise for you. You know how Coach Turner plays the piano while he's sat at the camera?
Yeah.
He did a little bit of the Pogues, didn't he? Which was amazing. You tickling the old ivories.
Yeah.
I'm going to tickle your ivories now with a little bit of a recital that I've been practicing on. So let me just.
What? Yeah.
I've got a piano. Oh. I've got a piano in front of me. So let's.
I can't see it on the screen. But...
Can you hear it? You can't even hear it. You can hear it.
Yes,
Can't turn it up a bit. What's going on? You can hear yourself, could you? Sorry, I'm talking whilst I'm trying to play the piano here. I really get into this. Sorry if I just drift away. A bit rough. Not too bad, huh? Very good. One-handed now.
Thanks, amazing.
Other hand.
I wish I could see this. I'm going to have to play it back, aren't I?
Oops, sorry, I'm a bit rusty. There you go, my darling.
Wow, thank you so much.
Happy birthday to you.
What I want to know is,
Yeah.
where did you find a...
Hold on a minute, that wasn't coming out. Silent piano playing, brilliant. Oh, hate it when that happens. Oh,
my
so many
goodness.
things are going wrong
Oh
this
my
morning, aren't they?
goodness, what is going on?
Piano mime says, yes, okay, I will own that. If in jazz, you don't make mistakes, you do it twice, don't you? So I have to do that twice now and pretend you meant to do it.
Or you could put it in post-production.
Why was that? It was coming out on, it was coming out through
Did
my
you add it
headphones.
to...
I sounded brilliant.
Did you add it to the stream?
No, is that part of the problem?
Yeah, probably.
Yes, of course. That would be it, wouldn't it? I need someone to teach me how to do this. I mean, my birthday present to myself. Okay. Well, nothing's going quite as planned this morning.
No, it's not. And thank goodness you've got so many people that love you in the chat room.
Thank you for loving me.
Oh.
And you, this is very interesting. You are loving yourself more, such that you put up quite an interesting, well, not it moved me to tears seeing your Facebook post this morning.
Seriously?
Yes. Would you care to elaborate on that, please?
Oh, yeah. In
I thought it was a joke, but it turned out Oscar Peterson Munson. Oh, if only you could have heard it, folks, you'd have loved it.
Traditionally, what am I like on my birthday?
I don't really want to celebrate my birthday. Have you got me anything? No, you don't really say.
No.
But there is, when I say your energy looks beautiful today, have you done something with it? There is a change in your birthday energies, which you'd normally like. Play it down a little bit. Don't want to make too much of a fuss. And other people here, we had the conversation about introverts and extroverts yesterday. And we've been having the ongoing conversation about what?
That's the
the ongoing optimist and pessimist discussion.
Yeah.
Now these play into the birthday celebration thing.
Yeah, like for instance, we often have parties for your birthday, don't we? Because you like to have a party.
Bit of a gathering,
yeah, exactly. And yet we've never had a party for me, and that's not because you've not thought about it or anything, although that might play into it. But
very dare
it's because you know that I am actually really not interested. And last year, leading up to my birthday, said, okay, I feel like I'm really ready to celebrate being me. I'm quite comfortable with myself.
Well, that's what it's about, isn't it?
And then I chickened out at the last minute and phoned the people that I said, do you want to come and celebrate my birthday with me? And I said, no, sorry, I'm not ready to do it.
Oh, okay.
But
back up the truck.
I don't know. I was feeling morose over the weekend and thinking, I'm really actually feeling worse than I had in a really long time in this kind of feeling. I don't know if any of you out there, like, do any of you feel like that?
They're in here. They're not out there.
Okay.
These are the voices in our heads.
Anyone in here
yes,
that's listening.
There we go. That feels better, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Cool.
So if anyone in here has felt like this, how do you get over it? Like, what do you do? And why do you do it to yourself? What I realized is
you're being challenging as well.
Well, yeah, because I realized, there was that Christmas, the one before I met you, where I felt so low in being myself, like, because my birthday being so close to Christmas, that I actually said to my whole family, I don't want you to even wish me happy birthday or celebrate Christmas. I now regret that because I felt like such a wet weekend. And I realized that all they wanted to do was love me.
Exactly.
Really. And for me, I was a celebration in their life, and I just couldn't see it myself. You
denied them the opportunity.
I really did.
Yes.
That taught them not.
Yes. But, how dare they?
Yeah, but this morning I just thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to make sure Facebook does know it's my birthday today.
Awesome.
I'm going to allow people to post on my timeline.
My
so
goodness.
I'm opening up the flow. I'm taking down my boundaries.
Right.
And I know it looks like, obviously I'm very happy and whatnot because I go on live streams and stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, normally I just don't want to celebrate. But this morning I actually, even though I'm a year closer to 50, I've got another 2 years to go. And, that could signal a bit of a wobble.
Yeah.
I'm actually feeling kind of really alive to the miracle of my body. And I realized that my body's not in the best shape, like in the difference between last year and this year.
Yes.
I think I'm really wearing some of the emotions I've been going through on my face at the minute.
Yeah.
But do you know what? I absolutely love and appreciate myself the way I am right now.
Oh,
and that's a massive step forward.
Good for you.
And I'm pretty sure that come this time next year, I'm going to look younger than I do this year because of the release that I'm going through.
Yes, who doesn't like a release first thing in the morning? Definitely. Every year on their birthday. Good.
Who doesn't just like
Well, the
just to
troublemakers
be
are
free
here.
and released?
I hope Mr. M is treating you appropriately. Happy birthday, Louisa. Yes, I'm doing my
He
best.
is,
No,
actually.
it's difficult to be with somebody who says don't make a fuss or I
Yeah,
don't
it
want to
really
celebrate
is,
my
actually.
birthday. And I have been able to use it as an excuse not to do very much. So the game has now changed.
It
I
has
think.
changed, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's really good news in some ways, and a little bit challenging to me in other ways. But I am going to make sure I did. I played the piano for you already today. Not that anyone could hear it.
Do you know what my distinction is
Oh, I'm
today?
going to have to get you a placemat as well. So every time you put your cup down on the
Okay,
mat,
hang on. I'll put it on a.
no, not for the stains because I do like the pattern of coffee cup stains on a desk. It's when it's this.
Okay, okay.
So I'm struggling a little
So I
bit.
can't do sound effects.
It goes
like...
right through me. Ouch! Oh, ow! No, it's like an audio version of some sort of neurosis of some kind.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Enough about my neurosis.
let's not do that.
We do enough of that every day.
The last distinction I just want to share
Yes.
is I realised, yesterday I was cleaning up the kitchen and I went into.
Not today, my darling. You leave that to me.
Okay, thank you. And I went into the lounge and the kids went shh. And they hid something on the table, and I was like, "Oh, they're doing me something." Like, and I remembered, yeah.
Okay.
And I remembered that just how much I used to love doing surprises for my parents.
Yes.
And they didn't always look that happy. And
yes.
About the birthday cake attempts I used to make for them, but. Do you know what? Today I'm going to love myself in the way that my kids love me.
Oh,
and
well, you can't do much better than that.
And I urge everyone to absolutely love yourself today in the way you would love a small baby. Let them, let you know that you are the center of your own universe. And funnily enough, as I said that, I've been kicked out again.
StreamYard's not loving you this morning.
It's not.
But do keep coming back because
it's fine. I feel cool.
Well, I'm loving it how you're taking this all in your stride as well. Something's changed. Something is going on. Definitely. Great webinar last night. Thank you very much, Joao Oliveira. You can see that on our YouTube channel. And I mention it not just for shameless promotion, which is why I normally do these things.
Yeah,
but
you're not shy now, are you?
No, it's yes, absolutely shameless promotion. But he came up with 3 fantastic tips for places to live for people who like to live close to the land and with sensitive cameras and so on in terms of sustainability and holistic living. And they were Panella, which we love.
Yeah.
They were Fundal.
Yep.
Which we also love, and we know other friends who love it.
Yeah.
And a new one, Mantegush, on the Serra da Estrela
we've not
range.
been there, have we?
We haven't, but a place called Butter has got to be good, isn't it?
Yeah, I do like the sound of that.
All right, so let's go back to the comments. Thank you so much. Over half an hour ago, many of these were made and committed to the screen. Thank you so much, T-Duck, for bearing with that. Whatever it was that happened this morning and transferring all of these to the screen again. So Bon Dia Alegria GuMPers from T-Duck.
What a star.
What a legend. What an absolute legend with his deep thoughts 1 and 2. You've been deep thinking already.
No internet coming to this.
How bizarre. Okay.
Do you know what? I can only think it's because we're in, I don't know if the rainstorms.
There is that possibility.
You know how things just go a bit wonky every now and again? And
Yeah.
I know all you techie people are going to be wetting yourselves.
Yes.
By lack of...
Techie people like to do that, though. You've got to
yeah,
give them that.
they do like a bit of that, don't they?
Oh, listen to you muggles saying that the internet can't go round corners.
Or talking about Jupiter changing.
Yes, oh my goodness. Jupiter and your Wi-Fi. No, please, no. Go on.
Yeah, no, because it's not. Because this is actually a...
Why is it not working? One of the great IT questions of all time. And
I guess I should
IT
just
people are thinking, PEBCAC, problem exists between keyboard and chair. Turn it off, turn it on again. And if that really doesn't work, I'll come and pretend to do something and then take all the credit.
Okay.
All right. Okay, deep thought. While you're doing that, deep thought 1, there are 3 stages of man. He believes in Santa Claus, stage 1. He does not believe in Santa Claus, stage 2, and he is Santa Claus. Oh, yes.
Well, if you end up looking like your dad, you may well look like Santa Claus one day.
He was pretty good.
Can I have a hotspot from your mobile?
If you can get my mobile back from our child.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
that's not working,
if people are wondering how on earth do they manage children while they're doing live streaming, I've just told you.
Today we have one.
That's a great idea to hotspot your connection. Look at you, you're getting resourceful instead of peed off.
Yeah,
that's the way to do it. Robert Leon Phillips, that was Bob Phillips there with the Santa Claus business there. American television journalist, best known for his long-running program, Texas Country Reporter. That sounds fantastic. Love looking at videos of the old American productions like that. Lots to learn from these legends like Robert Leon Phillips. Deep thought 2, then. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle 3 things. A rainy day, check. Lost luggage, not so much. Although you've got rid of baggage today, I can see
Yes,
that.
I have. Yeah.
And tangled Christmas tree lights.
Oh,
Yes, you
that's
can tell a lot
really
about.
difficult.
Yes, the sort of person who by like 10 minutes in is stamping on them and just going down the Chinese shop to buy some new ones. That you can tell a lot about that person.
have
That is
been
Maya
that person.
Angelou, of course. Marguerite Anne E. Johnson was an American memoirist.
Can I hotspot from this one?
You can
No.
try. Popular poet and civil rights activist. Is that what you think is happening? You're getting kicked off the internet rather than a slow computer. Bon dia. Birthday ideas for everybody. Mrs. M, new computer. Bon dia.
That would be a fantastic idea. Do you know what? I would love that. I
What
would
if someone would
absolutely
buy you a
love.
computer today?
Oh,
Well,
no, I
it's
need.
wor- it's
I
worth
actually
a try.
need to invest in one myself
Oh,
because
do you know-
I
you know
need
what?
one that's good enough for my astrology programs and also
I want
to
to
run
say,
this.
yeah, we're changing our coffee fundraising to something a little bit more practical than funding Project 2100, because I see that was a bit of a stretch, and it will be tech. We will be focusing on tech. And thank you so much.
I'm so bored of this.
Yeah,
not
yeah.
like this show, but I'm really bored of us and our continuous like problems.
Yeah, but it's not a
It's
technical problem. It's a personal problem manifesting as a technical problem.
Well, can you sort it out, please? Because I'm
I
really
said
bored
personal,
of having.
I didn't say it's somebody else's responsibility. I said it was a personal problem. Can you sort it out, please? I'll take that as you talking to yourself, not to me. Okay, but would you not agree, after all we said this morning, that all of these challenges are personal things? They are some energetic reflection.
Well, do you know what it is?
What?
I think is I've been because I haven't loved myself as much as I could have done.
Yeah, you end up accepting crap technology.
Yeah, I could have just said, "Screw you and your show. I'm not coming on until you've got me great lighting, a green screen, a really good laptop." Check. Instead, I'm just working on old bits of.
Well, they're not that old, but whatever it is, it's not working. Whatever it is, in my defense, we've tried various setups, haven't we? And
but
mine's fantastic.
Yeah. You get beautifully lit.
Do you know what? That's the thing, isn't it? It's a bit like, I don't celebrate my birthday. Don't worry about me.
Yeah,
and
that
the
is
technology
exactly
is a reflection, isn't it?
It really is.
So we've hit the nail on the head there. Okay. And going back to the coffee fundraising, thank you so much to the person who booked a 3-hour tour with me last night.
Oh, fantastic.
While I remember, it's going to be a joy hanging out with you, the 3-hour Silver Coast tour. Looking forward to hanging out with you over from the United States. And we're going to have some fun with that one. You can do that on our ko-fi/GMP fundraiser site over there. Stephen Wells, good morning to you. Bon dia, Stephen. Oh, I didn't do Maya Angelou justice, did I? Marguerite Annie Johnson, her proper name, American memoirist, popular poet, and civil rights activist, with that wonderful quote. You can tell a lot about a person by the way they handle 3 things: very seasonal, a rainy day, lost luggage, and tangled Christmas tree lights. Christmas tree lights ain't what they used to be, though. So much cheaper and easier, aren't they? You don't have to wobble every single lamp.
Well, isn't
anymore.
it amazing that you don't have that issue going on, that they're all like.
Do you remember your dad trying to figure out Christmas lights?
I remember the arguments and.
Really?
Yeah, because like if you just miss one, everything is messed up.
Or like, I've changed the lights, they work now, but that's the white one. You can't put. You want a blue one. It goes white, blue, red. Not
My mum and dad loved having quite a few strings of them. It went a bit wonky a lot.
Okay. Portuguese saying then, para bom entendedor, meia palavra basta. To an understanding person, half a word is enough. You see, it's all about energy, isn't it?
What?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
To an understanding person, half a word is enough. A bit like when we communicate sometimes.
Oops, I'm not supposed to be there.
What's wrong? Nothing. Just that one word's enough sometimes, isn't it?
Okay. Should we get on with the show? Because do you know what? I think
we have been getting on with the show. What do you mean? I am getting on with it.
People might be a bit like.
I'm working my way steadily through the comments. That is getting on with the show. What were you expecting getting on with the show?
Well, people might just be a bit sick of our kind of rubbish. They might just want the guests. Have we got guests?
You are the guest. We don't have it.
I am the show.
Normally, João Oliveira would be here on this Tuesday.
He was with you last night.
He was on the webinar with me last night. Deep diving with João. What an amazing man. Near-death experience, heart attack. And it completely changed his life.
Did he talk about his near-death experience?
He talked about how when you're close to death.
Yeah.
Well, he talked about purgatory. He talked about how when you're dying, you regret the things you haven't done.
Ooh.
And that is purgatory. And that's profound as far as I'm concerned. And
what will you regret not doing?
That's too profound for my liking. Well, I would like to think I have got on with what you've been booted out again. I would like to think I'm getting on with actually I would like to think I'm getting on with the things I should be doing and juicing life to its pips every day.
Yeah.
But I know I'm not quite doing that. And yeah, you're right. There is a bit of room. But we're working on that as well together, aren't we?
Yeah, totally.
You know, because sometimes we use our partners, don't we, as a way of not doing all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, we blame each other, don't we, and project and
Yeah, of
transfer.
course.
So we're letting each other off the hook, aren't we?
Is this couples coaching Wednesday or Tuesday?
Well, isn't it always? I mean, people are thinking they always do. They do this.
Tuesday.
There she is saying, "Let's get on with the show." This is what they do every morning. What's she talking about? Working out their relationship live on air. Who knew the Roman name for Portugal was Lusitania, which is derived from Lusus, the alleged son of Bacchus, the Roman god of wine and merrymaking.
Yeah, and getting drunk
was the Greek version.
They're
right?
they are interchangeable.
Well, Dionysus and Bacchus, are they?
Yeah, I use both of them as asteroids in people's readings.
You see, I've been learning about European history, as you may have noticed.
Yeah, every night at the moment, Carl is watching European. He's like being like a school boffin. It's almost like he's about to do an exam in early Europe or something.
Or launch a little bit of an edition in the new year.
Yeah, have a European baby.
Have a European baby. We've done that. Check.
Yeah.
Well, we are European babies, aren't we?
Yeah.
But not in the British sense. Okay, dad jokes we will return to. And they are Christmas themed, which is fantastic. What's this? Oh, okay, yes. That is a dad joke, not a random comment there. But thank you for that, T-Duck, with the Ugo Nuno. And, what does that mean? I have to write the tip of the day all over again? Yes, please insert your tip of the day. See what I did there?
Oh, that's a bit naughty.
It is, isn't it? But who doesn't like to insert their tip of the day? Especially Coach Turner. Bon dia alegria from a rainy Stockholm. And happiest of birthdays to Mrs. M. That's Anna.
Thank you very much.
Anna Ulsen. And I call... Oh, no, that's a dad joke. Don't peak early with that. Actually, a couple from yesterday as well. Excuse me, that tea is finding a circuitous route through my body. And those oysters last night, I was thinking maybe that's why my energy is different this morning. Did I have 8 oysters?
I think it's more than that.
They don't do half dozens here. I think they're sold by weight.
I think you had about 12.
Really?
Yeah, because you were
Epicurean to the max.
Kind of shucking away for a
shucking himself in the corner.
He was shucking himself for a good 20 minutes or so.
Right.
And
go shuck yourself.
And the kids were really kind of nervous, thinking he was going to like
myself again. Yeah.
It really did look sort of precarious. And the kids were like,
they were, weren't they? What is he doing? He's putting lemon on and now he's eating it whole, straight out the shell in a slimy blob. Yeah. They were delicious.
I much preferred what you cooked me.
Oysters. Yeah. They're oysters in
Not
Portugal.
My cup of tea.
Fantastic. Happy birthday, Mrs. M from T-Duck.
Thank you, T-Duck. Happy birthday to you coming up. Oh, I'm not allowed to do that here, am I?
No, you're not.
Okay.
And that's what I was going to do today. How do Portuguese people celebrate their birthdays?
Oh, are we going to do a bit of that today?
Well, we would have done if there was any information about it on the internet. And the only information I could find, like typing in, how do Portuguese people celebrate their birthday? And I went to one of those answer sites, maybe called answer.com or something, or answers.
Yeah.
And it said, same as you do. And we might go out for a meal. Now, shut up asking stupid questions, basically, was the vibe I got from Portuguese people.
I'm really happy for you guys to take me out for a nice meal
today. Will be. That was always the plan today. We're going out for lunch. And I've had to go to a more general, what do people do on their birthdays around the world? Mm-hmm. Okay. Which again.
So how would I be celebrating in
Argentina? You might have in Argentina, you might be having your ears pulled.
What?
Yeah, I'll dive deeper into this. In Australia,
can you not massage them instead?
Not right now.
Lovely tweak.
Well, you could have a greasy nose in Canada.
What?
Yes, all will be revealed.
Can you all let us know what you guys do?
Please do. That would be very helpful. Let us
know what you do in your family culture.
Fairy bread in Australia.
What is fairy bread?
I'm going to tell you. Okay. I like what you're doing here. There are some noodles there, like I cooked you the night before last. Yeah. Thoughtful birthday cards. Well, that doesn't sound very exciting. Well, it sounds nice, but not especially exciting. Oh, those are not the thoughtful birthday cards. Those are the Chinese longevity noodles.
Okay.
Are you... Okay.
I'm trying to visualize things because
you can't see.
I can't see.
All right,
anything.
We get it. You haven't got a very good connection. Birthday traditions in India and celebrating on New Year's Day as well. Thank you to Naomi Zakaria, for this article in Intonations, which I will return to. So let us know what you most love on your birthday, what you most fear on your birthday. I mean, the bumps, when you get over 50, getting the bumps from your friends could cause terrible injuries for everybody concerned, couldn't it? I don't recommend anyone does that.
No.
Once you're over,
I certainly don't want to
teenage
be
years.
manhandled by a load of
First thing in the
other
morning.
people. No,
Okay. All right.
I don't want you to hurt yourself. So
Try Pilates. God's God tip of the day. He can't be bothered to write the whole thing. He's just written try Pilates.
that's
All right.
That's so great.
Thank you. 8 degrees, mild Belfast from Deagle. Good morning to you. Oh, and Mrs. M, Mrs. McCullen, I will be in touch with how everybody can pay Deagle his sweepstake money.
Fantastic.
And to find out whether you are doing a half to charity and half to yourself, or scooping the whole lot for to share with a charity of your choice, or whatever it is you want to do with it. It's your money, Deagle, to be responsible for now.
I'm really kind of, knowing that he's been out on the picket line, I just think, oh, it's
legend.
nice. Yeah. I like the fact that good things happen to good people.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not saying more people are worthy than others, because,
why not?
Well,
sometimes they are.
Well, other people might be going through things that we're not aware of.
Of course they are. Yeah.
But I have to say, I was really happy to hear that news.
Which bit?
That Diggles won some money.
Yeah. He's been very calm about it, though, I have to say. Carla's been on a high this morning. Well, it is Mrs. M's birthday. Mm-hmm. Okay, one more time. Thank you, James, for this. Bon dia, GuMPers. Feliz, thank you so much for persisting, everybody, this morning. Feliz terça todos. Okay, que tem feito. Thank you very much, James. And how about yourself?
I don't know. We are going into town, aren't we?
We are. I'm going to take you for a bit of Chinese longevity noodle. And that is not a euphemism.
That's not a euphemism for yours.
My longevity noodle. Okay.
The Chinese one.
Sadly, nurses are striking again today across the NHS, fighting for safe staffing, looking to fill 8,000. I don't know how they can run a service with 8,000 vacancies, quite frankly. And they're demanding safer staffing based on that, and fair pay 5 days before Christmas. So, applause is one thing. Hands in the pockets is another, to make sure these public service workers are well paid. I have to
really, thank all nurses and doctors that work at this time of year, because this is a time, in fact, everyone that's working at this time of year.
Yeah.
Because really, people just want to be switching off and having a nice rest or a break.
Yeah.
But obviously, 48 years ago, my mum was actually, back then they had people in all over, for 5 days, if you had a baby.
Well, yeah.
And so, I was actually, my first Christmas was in hospital.
Was it?
Yeah, because my mum was still on her
confinement. Her confinement
after having a baby.
Amazing.
And I remember
can't wait to get rid of you now, can they?
No. And when
you can go now. I haven't had the baby yet. Oh yeah, all right. Just wait,
when I was
a couple more hours. Then.
When I was pregnant with Minnie, she was due I think the 28th of December.
Yeah.
And they had me in over New Year.
I remember it well.
So it's just amazing that you guys do what you do.
Well,
Thank you so
shout
much.
out to everyone working this Christmas.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I would like the
and the postman as well.
And the Portuguese tax office. Do you know what? Of more than anyone, I would wish the Portuguese IRS a lovely long holiday, which started last week and goes through until they have to do more work until early next year, perhaps.
Aren't you going to see Finances next week?
No, I'm going to see Seth next week, not Finances. So lovely long holiday to the IRS as well. Have a great time, guys. Cue this from the movie Fred Claus. Nick, there's been one thing that's been eating at me since I've been here. That naughty nice list you got. This is a nice long one from James this morning. There's no naughty kids, Nick. They're all good kids. And that's what Maria Joao said to us, isn't it?
Yeah.
But some of them are scared and some of them don't feel listened to.
Yeah.
Some of them had pretty tough breaks too. This is nice. Thank you, James. Yeah. But every kid deserves a present on Christmas. That's Fred to Santa from the movie Fred Claus. Isn't Christmas the worst time to punish children for their behavior?
Yeah, I also think it's a time when people need presents.
Yes.
Not just like presents, but like actual your time.
Yes. The gift of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, so, today what I'd really like to do is just sit with the kids and cuddle them and watch a nice movie.
You got it. I was going to be making a webinar tonight and I've cancelled it.
I'm glad. I'm surprised you booked that, to be fair. But thank you.
But that's going on old news.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do your webinar. Don't worry. It's only my birthday.
Yeah.
But things have changed around here. So there's no naughty kids, right? They're all
I would go with that.
They're all looking for love or acknowledgement or a bit of your attention. They're all good kids and they all deserve a present. Either no one gets one or everyone gets one.
Yeah, I just
You really are diving deep into that.
yeah,
Yeah, if you could see your face, which I don't think you can, you
yeah.
would see how pensive and thoughtful it is.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Did you want to say more there about children and presents? I think you do.
I just I think, well, I do you know what? I really don't like how modern popular culture
Yeah.
tries to terrify kids at this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like people often, and you know, fair play if that's what you do, like, because you've probably learned it from your parents and schools and this, that, and the other. So I'm not getting at you.
No.
But like growing up, like my sister and I were ever so slightly terrified of Father Christmas. The idea that we were A, being judged,
Yes.
and B, that a stranger was coming down a chimney and coming into our house.
Yes.
I mean, that's pretty freaky. My sister,
That's terrible.
it's so funny. Like my sister's kids have all been terrified of Father Christmas. Our kids, like, well, I mean, they actually
Let's
know.
be careful what we say here.
Oh, just in case if there are any kids listening.
Well, no, some of these adults are big believers as well.
Yeah. Like if you believe in Father Christmas,
things.
put your fingers in your ears right now. Our kids actually know that it's a story.
I don't want to hear this. You tell everybody.
Yeah, we've been told off by lots of people actually, or I have, because
Yes.
I actually care what people think a bit more than you do. So people don't bother with you, do they? They don't.
What?
They don't bother to tell you how they feel about what you're.
They do.
But yeah, like from word go, we've never maintained the lie that Father Christmas is actually real. You know, so when they've said, "Oh, look, this Father Christmas," we haven't said, "Oh, grow up, it's an old story." We haven't said anything like that. But we've had a conversation, you know, and we've just been open to it. So if they say Father Christmas, is he actually real?
I don't. You're more on it than me, of debunking the conspiracy theory.
Well, I'm not debunking it. I'm not debunking it, but I'm just saying, you know, like that we're not maintaining an actual lie. You know, we're not forcing them to believe. And if they don't believe, they're not going to get a present.
Oh yeah.
I once had a niece phone me up who was really old enough to know the truth, but she phoned up.
28.
She phoned up and asked if he was real because nobody in her household would tell her.
Oh, bless.
And she knew, but she also had been told that if she didn't believe in him, she wouldn't get any presents. And she was in a.
That's how they get you.
She was just about to become a teenager, and then now in recent years, there's these elves on the shelves that are apparently watching and reporting back. And
what is this?
I don't know.
What is this awfulness?
But anyone that listens in knows that I'm really not a big fan of anything that is monitoring and controlling and penalizing. It's just not
You never mentioned it.
It's just not the way I am. You know, I just think people should be allowed to be who they are and allow their natural goodness to come through. So I do have my misgivings around Christmas, and people have said, "Oh, but what about the magic of Christmas? Your kids will never have that." But you know what?
They so do.
It doesn't matter. Like,
I would like to qualify this a little bit.
Yeah, go on.
Elf on a shelf, if you're English American. In Portugal, it's João no chão. That's João on the floor.
Is it?
Yeah, drunk. Much better. Much better. There you go. So no elves on shelves here, but João's no chãos, definitely.
Well, it's also a little bit like, you know, God is always watching you.
Right. Is he not then?
Well, who knows? But
right.
you know, I think
she
the whole
is watching me.
You know, and the idea that like your teachers are always watching you, and
yes.
I just think the message that lots of people get, you know, when they're growing up is that everyone else is there to judge you. Everyone else is there to judge your behavior.
Yes.
Rather than, wouldn't it be great just to teach kids to be conscious of their own behavior?
Yes.
I'm not saying judge themselves, but let them regulate themselves without having all these regulations kind of forced on them. Yes. But, you know, I realize it's first thing in the morning. And we've all got our own biases from the way we've been raised.
Yeah.
And often we raise in you know, in the patterns that we were raised in.
Absolutely.
Because that's just all we know.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's just always occurred to me. It's a bit of a bugbear. So yeah.
I think this child needs to be parked in front of a television.
Okay.
And I can't get out of here.
Solly, come here.
Do you want to go and watch telly? Yeah, have a cuddle with mummy, or go and watch TV, or go and wake.
Go and get Digby and Minnie.
Go on. Anyway, okay, right. I'm being torn in different directions here because I want to see what everyone else is saying. I want to say what I want to say.
Okay, so what you
and this little lad's fine here for a minute. No, he's fine. He's fine.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Louisa. Have a lovely day.
Thank you.
I was terrified of thunder and lightning.
Yeah.
bringing in other childhood terrors and traumas.
Yeah.
Here. Elf on a Shelf says, Matty, no need for that nowadays. That's what you have your cell phone for. Big Brother is watching.
Yes, exactly.
So
that's
you're
true.
not a fan then of Santa's new digital currency based on whether you've been naughty or nice?
Definitely
I'm
not.
guessing not.
Definitely
okay,
not.
all right. Okay, other comments coming in. Many lovely, fond birthday wishes for you. That's a nice one, Victoria. I'll come back to that. I've got to see how far I'm going back in the scrolling. And we are also finding out what people were doing in between what dates? Summer of 2010?
Oh,
Summer of 2010 is enough for
yeah,
people to be getting on.
summer of 2010.
Because we know what we were doing.
And then January 2011 to June 2011.
Yeah. Okay, so and no naughty kids, they're all good kids, and all the kids are coming to say happy birthday to mummy this morning. Rugby Colin, it started off with a ha, but he's actually saying happy birthday, Louisa, fellow Sagittarian there.
Yeah, when's your birthday, Colin?
Okay, and who doesn't like an expansion first thing in the morning? That's going back a bit in the conversation, isn't it? Happy birthday to Mrs. M from Lord Gilchrist as
Thank
well
you.
in the capital. And that time kind of sucked, Nubianette says about that particular time.
What time?
2010, I believe.
Oh, what about 99? From February 99 to February 2020.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Because I wouldn't want you to think, oh, therefore it sucked that time, therefore
Yes.
it's sucking other times. That's why I've given 2 sets of dates so that you can kind of calibrate, what your basic Jupiter and Aries experience could be.
All right. It's like Christmas morning in here, isn't it? With all these kids wandering about.
In
It's
their
fantastic.
pajamas.
Yes. And also the other thing about whether people who have birthdays at Christmas time can still have good birthdays. Going
I
fairly
think so.
well so far, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I've always had Christmas decorations up for me, and people have generally been in a good mood.
You've not felt that as a bad thing.
I never had to go to school on my birthday.
Okay.
That was a massive bonus.
Yes, okay. Bon dia, pessoas from the magical, mystical Bairrada. So some birthday greetings there. And the imperial system of 12. Now, you would wonder, wouldn't you, why a system might be built on units of 12. But there many things are, aren't they?
Yeah.
The 12 months, 12 houses of the zodiac, 12 people on jury.
Table of Christ.
Yes, exactly.
Now,
so
I mean,
12s are important, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, if we were to there are some people who say, well, actually, if Jesus was at that table in the Last Supper, there'd be 13, and actually, there's allegedly a 13th sign. There's a 13th constellation. So some astrologers do use those, and I can as well. But
there has to be,
because
every challenge must be every system must be challenged.
Yeah,
for it to have its integrity.
Do you know what I think? I mean,
yes.
Sorry. Do you know what I think? As if I'm going to give you a choice, but I think
I've noticed
all systems are there really to give us an idea.
Starting point.
Yeah, it's a starting point. It's a framework, and actually, I think it's good to use a few different frameworks to see which one works for you. And not every framework's going to work in every single situation.
Yeah.
And I think it's okay. And I think each framework, like whatever framework you're using to process something, you get a slightly different answer, a slightly different possibility out of each one. And I think that's better.
Very good. Well done, kids. There you go. I expanded due to food. That was Lord Gilchrist, his Jupiter expansion, mainly food-based. This is a serious one. 11th of September, excuse me, 2001 was pretty explosive, literally. Is that expansion?
Yeah, explosions.
Not all expansion is good necessarily.
No, because like if you like during that time, if there are other things going on, it could actually get over the top. Like Jupiter is also known for being a bit of an arrogant character as well. I mean, on the whole, he's very benevolent, but if he gets drunk, which is the word jovial comes from Jove, which is
by Jove.
Yeah, by Jove, which is Jupiter by another name. But he's, there are links, to who are you talking about? Dionysus and
yes, that's right, Bacchus.
And Bacchus, because Jupiter is really happy to make with the merry, and so people like hello. If your Jupiter's well placed in your birth chart, you probably do like to celebrate quite a bit, and have a real kind of love of it.
Well,
and if your Jupiter is probably if it's got like squares to Neptune and Mars in particular, you tend to overdo it. Yes. So there are lots of markers. So I look at charts and I think, oh crikey, that's an alcohol issue. in the making. And then, you know, the person says, I've got alcohol issues or dependency issues, and you can see them. And so Jupiter, it enhances and increases everything.
Yes.
So if it's really beautifully laid out in your chart just because of the time, date, and place of your birth,
Yes.
and you've developed yourself, then you can really use that energy. But like if it's kind of in a bit of a bad state, a challenging state, and especially if you haven't already got like good self-esteem or boundaries and stuff, then it can go really wonky.
Yes, well, certainly an explosive time in human history.
Yeah,
Responding to
and
James's
oh yes,
question, there. It
and
changed the world forever, for sure.
yes,
No question about
Jupiter and Uranus, when they get together, and Jupiter and Mars, when they get together, they cause the big explosions. I mean, Jupiter at the time of the launch, it's kind of interesting that I said launch, but at the time of the pandemic,
the launch of the pandemic.
well, no. I mean, like there was the pandemic experience,
Yes.
but then there was the media launch
Yes.
of it and how it was rolled out,
Yes.
which actually was a launch in its own right. And maybe it was there for safety, who knows? But there was a very interesting conjunction between Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. They're all in the same place for the first time.
For the rollout of the pandemic.
It just so happened to coincide. Now, it was also in the sign of Capricorn. Now, Pluto's associated with death and transformation. It's about the cycles of life, but it's really seen as an evil. Saturn is about managing systems and getting all of your, I guess, if we were looking at the Saturn people in the world, there would be people who are fact-checking, police people, police officers, nurses, doctors, anyone in authority. So there was this Pluto coming up representing a massive threat of life and safety and darkness and isolation. Then there was Saturn, which was about governing it all. And then Jupiter was there, and Jupiter kind of set it on fire. Jupiter helped it go far and wide.
Interestingly,
the conditions were there for something big to be launched. It's so funny because I had conversations with with loads of astrologers leading up to this time, saying something really big's about to happen, and I don't know what. And we were thinking it was. We were all saying it was going to be like a big crash, because none of us thought in terms of pandemics, because it's just not in our consciousness. But of course, the moment it happened, we'll never look at that kind of conjunction in astrology in the same way again. But that's the first time that one had happened for over 3,000 years, I think it was. It's a really rare alignment. Yeah, really rare.
Well, interestingly, with the pandemic, just a year later, I noticed world leaders, and I'm thinking of Emmanuel Macron, didn't seem too bothered about completely embracing and hugging a load of snotty footballers after they lost the World Cup.
I thought he was trying to, and they were kind of
no, that's what I'm saying. He was. It was like, you know, a year or two ago, he was berating people for not following the measures, and there he is completely hugging snotty, sweaty people who are the most contagious. But then again,
that's interesting.
They're top athletes.
I mean, you know,
a bit like the tennis player. Anyway, very interesting.
What's happened is people's whole mindsets have changed during this time, and that's the kind of influence you get with these big, slow-moving planets. They change things,
like Emmanuel Macron,
for a lifetime, for a generation.
Very interesting, says Blusher and Brownies. This is going back to the earlier part of this conversation, which we've circled back to here. Blusher and Brownies, very good to see you here. Sounds like an Insta channel, doesn't it? Of somebody who likes makeup and cakes. That woman is all right in my book. Happy birthday to Mrs.
How do you know it's a woman?
Oh, come on. Let me just, a little bit of a clue with the picture there. But yes, you ask a very interesting question. How much I'm willing to bet on that, I do not know. How about a brownie? I'll buy you a brownie if I'm wrong. I'm going to be buying you a brownie anyway.
Buy me one anyway.
Okay, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to Mrs. M from Victoria. Good morning to you, Victoria. Of course, after the explosion was collapsed, so not expansion there. Depends how you interpret and define expansion, really.
Well, it opens everything up,
yes,
and that is what happened.
And even you could say that a mental crisis or a societal crisis is an expansion, isn't it? Because it blows apart our understanding, which is an awkward and uncomfortable expansion. We actually semantics.
We actually did a show. Was it 2 years ago now, where we looked at the outer planets, which are the slow moving ones, because like Pluto's a big game changer, which is about death and destruction, but also on a personal basis about our personal deaths and transformations, like the death of our ego, like when we have a sudden release and a surrender, and how we kind of resurrect ourselves. So those themes are rife there. Uranus is very explosive. It's about sudden change. It's very much about
Uranus is explosive. Did you just say?
yes.
I'm not going to let that pass.
Okay. No, but
and everybody else who wants to have a
would.
little giggle about that right now, please go ahead. You're very welcome. I'm going to say it again so that you can have maximum benefit, and then Mrs. M will be serious and move on. Uranus is explosive.
Yes, it's an explosive energy from Uranus.
Go ahead.
Yes. And far be it from me to talk about your transit in Uranus. I mean, that's just not what we want to talk about.
I wasn't going to go there. There are limits.
So, but Uranus shows these huge sweeps in consciousness on a global level, and where things are disrupted. So it corresponds with tsunamis, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and in our own lives it shows like big changes, like where we cut off from one thing and allow something new, which is very different to the Pluto energy, because Pluto, you feel like you're dying and it's really horrible, whereas Uranus is your anus is very much kind of, it's almost not judging you, it's just like there is a change and you have to deal with it. It's like a circumstantial thing. And then so we have all these different outer planets and they shape the generation. So we did a show a few years ago where we mapped how the generations, the sort of ethos of each generation based on the positions of the outer planets.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
No.
But
then again, I don't remember yesterday.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's nothing.
But like we were looking at like the boomers.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, right the way through to modern day.
And a particular group, the boomers had a especially difficult time, didn't they? Those born in a certain time in the 60s.
Yeah, well, we were
not
looking
the boomers, Generation X.
Actually, I think just before the boomers were quite interesting. So we were looking at like family consciousness, and how all of that has been sown, and how like one level of consciousness moves on to the next, like
the turnings.
Yeah,
like the fourth turning
exactly,
we may
like
well
that.
be going into. Okay.
Yeah, and
it all connects, and you're onto something when you start joining the dots.
Yeah,
even if they are figments of your own imagination and they're all part of your what's it called when you look for the signs that you're looking for and then go, see, told you. Cognitive. No, the opposite.
Dissonant.
No, the opposite of cognitive dissonance. Where you bring.
Well, you've got listening for something, haven't you?
That's how us humans
preconceived.
work. No question about it.
I just use a planetary model. Sometimes I don't use a planetary model. I have given up on it, and then I come back to it when people say, "I need you to do my chart again." But you can use all sorts of different models to come up with the same conclusions. The way I see it is we're just observing
tea leaves,
the same situation through a different lens.
Yes, and I don't say tea leaves dismissively or cynically. No. I think you can use anything as a divination.
You can,
because you're basically using your intuition, aren't you, and piecing things together and working with energies. And the human being needs things to like doctors. What is it? Is it Pascal, the French philosopher? Medicine entertains the patient while nature takes its course.
Yeah,
I love that. I love that.
There's
an Ursid meteor shower peaking around the 24th.
Excellent.
Okay. So
will it be visible where we are? Is that Owen that shared that?
No, that was Simon. That those with telescopes for Christmas might want to open them early.
Yeah, let's hope the clouds are.
Bon dia from Sarah Yerman. Good morning to you, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah.
And smash that like button, says T-Duck. Who doesn't like a good flush? Did you say good flush earlier on?
I might have done.
I think it's one of the benefits. Well, I was talking to Joao Oliveira yesterday, and actually, although a good flush is quite nice first thing in the morning, we are flushing away that human manure, that gold that the other animals bless the earth with, and we just want to get rid of it and send it as far away as possible.
Do you remember the times when we were planning on having a human manure compost area?
What?
When we were talking about the possibility of composting our manure.
Human manure. I'm not sure people want to hear about that at breakfast time.
No,
send me a message, Carl at Good Morning Portugal, if you want to talk about that privately.
I remember, like in the UK, when I was dreaming about what our life in Portugal might be like, and it's, by the way, it's nothing like what we were expecting it to be.
Funny that.
But like we're really wanting to live off grid, and fair play to those of you that have managed to do that.
Yeah.
I salute you. I think it's quite a lot of hard work, and all these sort of. Well, yeah, we were planning on.
I still want
manuring,
talking to Joao last night.
Composting on manure.
At some point, I am determined to compost my own waste products and cook on our compost with a biogas.
I think that would be fantastic.
We will get there.
Like full circle. That'd be amazing.
And I will stop storing it in the bedroom.
Like a Uranus compost.
Before I've made the. the kid. Elongating Portuguese is so satisfying. Sufficient syllables you are. At Lord Gilchrist there. Giving me, what is your full title, Andrew? If you could have that on the screen, Sarah might have some fun with that. Silent piano playing. Oh my goodness, we're going all the way back to that this morning, and I got called Oscar Peterson. Yes, I'll take it. And happy birthday, Mrs. M from Baddy. May you enjoy festivities all day. Bon dia alegria to you. Sue's sending lovely birthday-related emojis as well. Have a big one coming in February. I might put it off until July so I can make it a +1.5. Okay, so is he going to be 50?
Who's that?
Lord Gilchrist.
I don't know.
It sounds a bit girly, that, saying a big one, rather than just, come on, tell us what the birthday is. Oh, no, I can't tell you how old I am. Come on, Lord Gilchrist. I hope Mr. M is treating you appropriately. Happy birthday, Louisa. And bon dia, alegria e parabéns, Mrs. M from Matty. And morning lovelies, parabéns from Fiona. What was first in that other accident video with a picture or different glasses half full? Do not know what you're talking about there, Matty. Well, I am centre of my universe every day. And aren't we all? Nothing wrong with that.
No, it's a really
Own
good way
it.
to be.
Own your part of the universe and be a beacon of light from that point of view. Nothing says happy birthday like a silent piano song. All right. I'll try again later in the privacy of our own home. I love myself now. It took a long time for this to be the case. So you have opened the floodgates of self-love.
I'm so pleased. I loved hearing that. Who was that?
That's Lord Gilchrist.
Oh.
It took a long time for this to be the case.
How did that occur exactly?
Come on, tell us, Lord Gilchrist.
Like, what was the turning point? What was it that made you just surrender into thinking, yeah, I'm okay, I can love myself?
Orgy of self-love.
Yeah.
Remember it that afternoon well. I had huge hugs with one of my granddaughters on Sunday. My heart melted. Oh, Coach Turner. It's so lovely. I saw my granddaughter in Italy on video yesterday, and my heart melted.
She's so bonny.
Isn't she amazing?
She's lovely.
And more birthday emojis, this time from Blusher and Brownies. Tell us more about yourself, Blusher and Brownies. Back to your tech problems, Mrs. M. Only techie people who don't live in Portugal can diss the interesting Wi-Fi electric hiccups as soon as it's raining everywhere. Grateful they don't. So yes, Fiona, supportive of your rain-based tech problems there. And it's so rainy here that I got a warning from the government last night via a text, a warning of flooding and flooding last night. 2 different words for flooding.
Really?
It's like the Eskimos and snow. In Portugal, we've got at least 2 words for flooding, and inundação and cheia as well, I believe. When I'm being mindful, I remind myself that challenges are practice. Well done.
Yeah,
well
that's
done.
great.
It is absolutely right. And he's our mindful man every Monday.
Thanks, James.
Bon dia from Jacqueline Branco. Good morning to you, Jacqueline Branco.
Hey,
and a parabéns from Jacqueline as well.
Thank you.
Jenny's here as well. Happy birthday, Louisa. Hope your day is filled with joy, love, and cake. Jenny Ann Slater.
Oh, hello.
And Sarah Exton. Similarly, happy birthday,
Merci
Louisa.
bien.
Have a wonderful day from Sarah Exton.
Thanks,
as
Sarah.
well. Great to have you here, Sarah. Happy birthday, Louisa, from Sarah Yerman.
Oh,
Louisa,
thank you.
Sarah Ottimo. Sarah Ottimo. That's great, isn't it? Be well, be good. Sarah Ottimo. And things happen to people. No judgment. There you go. It's true, isn't it? Interesting point of view that you have that interesting point of view.
Yeah.
By Andy, pig's ears. Pig's ears says that our Cockney geezer having her knees up there.
Pig's ears, is that like how our show started this morning? Or is this how
it was a pig's ear for sure.
People celebrate a birthday in London?
I don't know, but I'm going increasingly dark on the screen
for
some reason.
Goodness.
I don't know why that is either.
It's because the windows, the shutters are
Mrs. M.
Are up behind the green screen.
Look at the magic. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? Okay,
so put the shutters
see
down.
What happens here now.
You should look instantly better.
And yes, it does. She's right, Look at that. By Jove, we've got it. And a bit of magic there revealed to you, a bit like the Truman Show. But I won't spoil that for you. No spoilers here. So pig's ears, eels and crayfish, muelos and tripas washed down with lots of canecas of cervejas. Happy birthday.
Aww.
He's wishing you a pig's ear for your birthday.
Thank you.
And you're paying because it's your birthday.
Oh, is that what tradition. You do?
That is what they do here in Portugal. Very good. St. Nicholas is the one punishing bad kids on the 6th of December, not at Christmas. So that's all right then.
Okay.
He doesn't do it at Christmas. He doesn't add insult to injury. He does it on the 6th of December.
What a benevolent person.
Yes, thank you for keeping it away from Christmas. I often say your presence is one of the best presents I could ever wish for. Thank you, James, for that. Yes, and that's quite a hard gift to give in this day and age, isn't it?
Really,
your complete and full attention. Happy birthday, Louisa. Have a lovely day. From Leslie Smith. I was terrified of thunder and lightning. Very, very frightening indeed.
Galileo.
After the stranger shimmies down your chimney, he may load your stocking with coal for being bad.
Yeah, what, for not believing in him?
Yeah.
Actually, coal might be quite useful at these times. Maybe like,
people are begging.
Everyone that's freezing their nuts
coal.
off in the UK is probably thinking, "Bring me coal, bring me coal, bring me coal."
People support you, Deagle. There are messages of support for you, Deagle. Solidarity with the nurses in Belfast. There.
Do you know what? I want to celebrate you, because if it weren't for this community and communities like this, there'd be lots of people who get up in the morning and who don't actually think, "Wow, those nurses, those midwives, those posties, they're having a hard time, they're going on a strike." But, you know, if Deagle wasn't here, and if you hadn't set this up, and if all of you other great chums,
GuMPers,
GuMPers, GuMPers. If we weren't all here together right now, we wouldn't have got the chance to see life from a different perspective that maybe we weren't quite aware of.
We welcome those sort of insights.
Yeah, I love that.
We do. You might have to read these comments, but you can't see them.
I can't.
My voice is going. I have to have another cough.
Do you want me to? Can I swap seats? Can I be nicely lit?
How about that? Maybe you should do the last 15 minutes over here.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, we will. Let me just, and then I can cough quietly and suffer my man flu without disturbing people too much. Not a big fan of the Police then singing "I'll Be Watching You."
I do actually quite like Sting and the Police. I've listened to them,
but not to be watched by them every day.
No, it's just a bit creepy.
Yeah. Okay. If I had my time over with my kids, hold on. If I had my time over, my kids wouldn't have been through the Santa system. I would have stuck to my own Yule traditions. They love the simple things much more than commercialism and threats of having to be good in order to receive. Well said, Fiona. Now, Santa is real. You know, when I'm not keen on this idea that Santa is or isn't real. Everywhere you go now, you can see Santa. So obviously Santa is real.
Like the character.
The effigies.
Yeah.
The idea is real. And there are representations of the idea everywhere. So it's confusing to children to say it's not real, because it is real. It's the conversation that elaborates and elucidates that, isn't it? So obviously Santa is real, but how you use that myth and legend is something else to be discussed.
It's like the Tooth Fairy. I mean, our kids have been not terrorized by the Tooth Fairy, but like, you know, our oldest one has obviously lost loads of teeth. Our middle one is just starting to lose teeth.
Yeah.
And I remember she was frightened because somebody had said, "Oh, the Tooth Fairy's coming," and like we never say that. We just might maybe slip something underneath their pillow, but we don't say, "Oh yes, there's this fairy coming." But I remember her, because like somebody else had said to her, "Oh, the Tooth Fairy's coming, how exciting!" She got really freaked out.
People don't really think it through. My father, sorry to hear this, Suze, and thank you for your advent calendar entry, which we might get round to playing this morning. I don't know, we haven't even done the birthday traditions from around the world, which I'd love to do.
What's happened?
Well, Suze is saying, my father applied for assisted suicide in Canada. They rejected his application. They didn't consider him terminal. He had a miserable last year. R.I.P. Dad. So rest in peace. Absolutely, Suze's dad. And sorry to hear it went that way, Susan. Thank you for your advent calendar. The lovely sign, I don't know, however you might see it, Suze, the hummingbirds returning to your feeder, which is our advent calendar video from yesterday. And I don't know, the way I would see that, I would see my lost relatives returning in the form of animals. I have done that, and I do that. I don't know if that's any consolation to you there, but the hummingbird is such a special and significant creature as well.
Yeah.
Bondi, happy birthday, Louisa. It's been a while since I've been up this early. Since yesterday when you needed to go to the toilet, right, John? In the middle of the night. In that case, my Jupiter must be all over my chart, all over that chart. People owning up to their excessive behavior. So, says Stephen Wells, the pandemic wasn't a government conspiracy. It was written in the stars. So it's an astrological conspiracy, you could say.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, like, we're quite a good community, like astrologers, you know, we all chat amongst ourselves. And, you know, we'll be looking at like the planetary positions and surmising what we think's about to happen and when it's going to happen and whatnot.
You'd think Bill Gates would get in touch, wouldn't you? He probably does have an astrologer.
They all have their personal astrologers.
Ew,
you
Bill
know, like
Gates.
at the start of the pandemic, I contacted a few different groups and offered my services for free.
Yeah.
And they said, actually, we have our own ones. Like
really?
They had 6.
Rather than saying, no, thank you, we don't believe in that nonsense.
No,
We've already got one.
Definitely
Amazing.
not. That this group is a well-organized group helping people make sense of the world. And they had 6 in-house astrologers.
Well, I never. Happy explosions and
pretty
birthday,
big.
Mrs. M from Rick Purcell.
Oh, thank you,
Rick's,
Rick.
wishing you happy birthday. Morning, Rick. and Rick and
I will
Louisa.
miss you. I will miss you. Not seeing you tomorrow, but I know
when
we'll
are
be
you
in
two
touch.
back? Early in the morning, Portugal time.
I think
early in the new year.
I think it's in the new year on a Wednesday at 6:30 a.m.
6:30 a.m. Portugal time. Join Rick and Louisa for a feel good conversation.
Yeah, we just chat about stuff.
Will the rain ever stop? Do you talk about that?
Well, he has monsoons every day, so we can definitely talk about that. And like we have internet connections there.
It's actually Gary who's asking that.
Oh,
in Castanheira de Pera. Welcome to Portugal, Gary. You weren't expecting this, mate, were you? Cheers, Rick. And love to everyone in Bali.
Yes,
it's been a bit seismic over there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, last week when Rick and I were chatting on our show, Rick's screen shook, and he said he'd had earthquakes in the night. And when we came off air and we were just chatting behind the scenes, all of a sudden his camera really rocked.
Yes.
So they are in quite a precarious position there, so they do get earthquakes and stuff and whatnot.
Confirmation bias was the thing.
Confirmation bias.
It's often used as an insult. Now, there's good and bad. There's good and bad with everything. I mean, confirmation bias can be a joyous thing as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It really can.
Owen, who sorry, I missed your earlier comment. I'm reminded now, Owen. Morning to you, mate. Hoping for clear skies too, Louisa. And this time last year, he was preparing a secret luncheon.
Yes. Oh, Owen, that was such a lovely surprise. And you pulled it out the bag there, Mr. M.
He doesn't like pulling it out the bag first thing in the morning.
He took me on this mystery tour and was driving us, towards Tamar. And I wasn't sure if he's going to take us to a restaurant there or what. And then we pulled up at this house. And then I saw a familiar face peeking out the door, and I was like, ah.
There he was. And we had a lovely lunch with our private chef.
Yeah.
Private chef birthday.
Yeah.
Carl, you published a short video just before the show, and it looked like accidentally. Yes, it was. Was there much swearing on it, Matty? Had a pic of glasses half full on the screen. Jeff Jackson, another one of our American friends, up early. Bon dia todos y feliz aniversario, Senora M. Senora M, you've not been called that before, have you?
I haven't. Not to my face.
On Christmas Eve, the big Christmas celebration here in Sweden, I celebrate my youngest daughter's birthday. Now, that's quite a birthday. How beautiful. And to do pass on the GuMPer greetings as well to your youngest daughter, Anna. Thank you for mentioning that. About lighting, I think there will be self light offer in Lidl shortly. Maybe you can get that for Mrs. M. I shouldn't have read that out. Could have been a nice surprise. There's a selfie light offer coming up in Lidl. We like that sort of intel coming through.
What I'm actually looking for is a couple of photographic soft boxes, because that's what Mr. M is lit by. He's got a couple of soft boxes either side of him, and then he's got a ring light in the middle.
A soft box.
and in
first thing in the morning.
And then his ring is lit in front of him as well.
Oh my God.
So,
I am very interested in Louisa's astrology talk, says blusher and brownies. I do love makeup and brownies.
Oh,
see, I'm very intuitive. I could just
you
tell.
You could totally do my job.
I could just tell. Happy birthday, Mrs. M from Blusher and Brownies.
If you're interested in it, can we put a link in to
an Abraham link in? Yes, we can. What is the
Blush and Brownies? If you go to YouTube,
yes,
and you type in "Feel Good Astrology,"
Feel Good Astrology,
because it's all about feeling good, basically.
Yes.
And then go to the live stream. It's the last video.
So anyone who wants to feel bad about
don't get in touch.
Go there. Are you? If I say, shall we give people your website address? Are you going to say to me, "Oh no, don't go there because it's not done yet"?
Well, I haven't updated it for over a year, but it's feelgoodastrology.com.
Okay, I'm putting that onto the screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, and shout out to everybody who's got a website they're not happy about, which is most people.
Unless you work for a big corporate, or you've outsourced it to somebody and paid someone else to do it, the chances are you're not going to be happy with it.
Yes, well, I'm keeping the ashes of my dogs on a rather sober note here to spread them on my quinta, as it will be my last place too. Well, that's some interesting.
That's
thinking.
very profound.
It is, isn't it? So
who's sharing that?
Matty. That will be his last
Oh,
place.
wow.
That's.
Have you lost a dog recently, Matty?
I don't think so, but maybe
I
he's
hope
thinking
not.
ahead. I don't know.
Yeah.
To the inevitable there. Okay.
Do you know? I mean, I've got the last. I know it sounds a bit gross. I've still got the umbilical cord of our last child, soaked in vodka.
Yeah.
Which I'm preserving, and I do have this dream that one day I'll be able to plant it. I ate the placentas. Because we're not allowed to, or in England they say you're not supposed to bury
gently
it.
In a.
But I would love to.
You encapsulated. You ground and encapsulated.
Yeah.
You didn't fry them up like some people do.
No. I didn't fry them up like liver, but I would like to have that kind of energy as well. I understand where you're coming from, is what I'm sharing with you.
Right. Okay. I'm going to treat you to a few birthday traditions from around the world.
Yes,
then we're going to
please.
swap places,
Okay.
and I'll leave you to say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
And just go and stop the children from killing each other. Okay. Birthday traditions from around the world. Birthday bumps. We know about that one, don't we? In case you don't, in countries such as Ireland and the UK, you might want to watch out on your birthday. Tradition states that the person celebrating is taken by the arms and legs and then is bumped up into the air.
It's really
and
unpleasant.
down onto the floor. At school, that was hellish. This is repeated one time for each year of their age, plus an extra bump for good luck, of course. Birthday ear pulling.
Okay.
In Italy, Hungary, Argentina, and other countries, a similar tradition to the birthday bumps dictates that you wish a happy birthday by pulling the earlobes of the birthday boy or girl. This is done once for each year of the person's age.
Oh.
Gets a bit boring when you're 90, that, doesn't it? And
you probably forget.
You could almost pull a 90-year-old's earlobes off, couldn't you, in their delicate state of physicality?
Maybe stroke them, caress them.
Geburtstag in Germany, Matty might know about this. When it comes to wish, and often when you read out a tradition from a country, the person in that country goes, I don't know about that. This is made up. When it comes to wishing someone a happy birthday in Germany, there's a strict rule that must be observed. That's most unlike the Germans, isn't it? A strict rule that must be observed. I can't believe that.
What rule is it? That
no one should say alles gut zum Geburtstag before the actual birthday. So a little bit like the
So you're not allowed to
Portuguese.
say good, happy, have a great day type thing.
Breaking this rule is not only considered rude, but also bad luck. And that's the Portuguese. They observe that as well.
Okay.
Same reason birthday parties are never celebrated early. If your birthday is on a Monday, for example, you'd have to have the party on the following weekend.
Oh, wow. Wow, we could have fallen foul of that.
Australian fairy bread, mate. In Australia, instead of the big classic birthday cake, you're more likely to see fairy bread. Probably based on the stolen loaves that might have got your ticket there back in the day. Let's see that historical reference. White bread spread with butter and covered with hundreds of colourful sprinkles.
Oh.
Who doesn't like a colourful sprinkle?
Is it hugel? What's it called?
Not in Australia.
No. Oh,
No.
hundreds and thousands.
Yes.
Hagelschlaf. Is that what it is in Dutch?
Yes. This dessert is very simple. I don't think you should be asking for a Hagenschlag in Australia, though, mate. The dessert is very simple, but it's definitely a favourite among children and adults, like a sprinkle sandwich.
You know, my grandmother, who's Flemish, she used to, not for birthdays, she just did it for any old celebration, but buttered bread and then a dessert spoon of sugar.
Well, talking of sprinkle sandwiches, shout out to anyone drinking their own urine at the moment. Greased nose in Canada, especially on the Atlantic side. It is a common practice to sneakily grease the birthday boy's girl's nose with butter.
Does it bring them luck or something?
By doing so, the greased nose will make the person too slippery for bad luck.
Oh,
that's
nice.
quite nice, actually. The amount of butter even increases as you get older. Can you imagine that? Cholesterol on the face. But yeah,
it's probably quite good for the face, actually.
I would have thought so, and fun to lick off with your intimate ones later in the day. Birthday fun in Mexico. Large Mexican birthday parties are celebrated with piñata, of course, which is a festive object or an animal made out of papier-mâché.
Crap out of.
Living be Jesus. Okay. Thoughtful birthday cards. Writing a nice and sincere card is one of the most important things when it comes to wishing someone a happy birthday in Russia.
Okay.
So that's quite nice, though, isn't it? Committing pen to paper, which is a rare act these days.
Yeah.
And I'll finish with the Chinese longevity noodles, taking me back to a part of my culture, long forgotten. Part of my culture, I should say. The Chinese opt for eating a plate of long noodles, which symbolize longevity. Can you imagine pulling out a tiny noodle?
Yeah.
Fanar. That noodle needs a bit of coaxing, but that would be awful, wouldn't it? If you
everyone's watching you, and your noodle's really, really short,
and a tiny little noodle comes out of the pile there. In order to have a long life, one should slurp the noodles whole without biting them off. That's good etiquette. Or breaking them with the chopsticks.
Chinese do like to slurp.
And I preempted your birthday with some nice long noodles. I think I found some Portuguese massa, which was a really chewy, like soba noodle, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Not sober as in temperance related sobriety, but
they weren't boozy either.
Very thick noodles, weren't they?
They were just like soba
which
noodles.
I'd never seen. Okay, great. Thanks. I'll do that, Louisa. I think that's probably go to your website, Feel Good Astrology. Right. I'm going to get out of the way after I've done a couple of dad jokes and leave you to with your adoring friends who you're allowing to adore you this morning.
Could I tell you? No, actually, my delivery is terrible on dad jokes. I was thinking maybe we could see if we could make you laugh, but it would probably really fail badly.
I would be smirking constantly.
Yeah. Okay.
Passive smirking. Does claustrophobic mean you're afraid of Santa?
Yes. Definitely.
You are claustrophobic.
Yeah,
Santa claustrophobic.
yeah.
Okay. Santa operates by sleight of hand.
Very clever.
But you're not laughing.
No.
I called my landlord and told him I had a leak in my sink. He said, that's okay. He does too.
Oh God! I was thinking of the vegetable. Yes, of course.
Yes, a leak in your sink.
I mean,
who doesn't like to?
I mean, obviously, I don't think women do it, but I'm sure there are lots of men out there that do pee in their sinks from time to time, right? I would if I could, just stand and my penis was at the same height as my sink. I probably would do that.
I didn't think the show would end this way. I just thought we'd be moving on after that dad joke. And talking of dad jokes, it was my father who taught me that.
And you know what? You know, when you were talking about how our ancestors might show themselves, you often think your dad is around when there's heavy rain.
And feathers.
Feathers.
White feathers for sure. Yes, indeed. This is a fantastic meme that's just come in. Can you see the screen?
No.
I'm going to leave this on the screen for you as we switch over now.
Okay.
There are some starfish inside an aquarium for those who are on the podcast. And Mrs. M will do the visual punchline for you. I'm going to take that off the screen. How do we celebrate birthdays? We're going to go do that today. I'm going to go and make you a nice cup of coffee now. Can you finish this show off?
Sure.
In a good way.
I'll try.
All right.
I hope I don't ruin it.
Quickly, they're waiting.
Very clever. Right, how do I get this thing off? Hang on, love. How do I get this? How do I get this off?
Have you forgotten what to do?
Yeah, I have. Where is it?
In the brands.
Brand. Okay.
There we go.
Hello. Right, let's get him off here first of all.
Get rid of me.
Right, he's gone.
Cheers,
it's just me and you.
Bye.
You can see I'm wearing green because let me take this off. In fact. Actually, I'm going to sparkle instead. So I don't know where we are in the comments, but let's just get the last few. Yes, there is. Owen's. People are talking about Terry Hall from Funboy 3. I also thought it was from a different band. I can't remember which one it was, but yes. Terry Hall has gone. Solar Life, Pete is saying sad loss. He was a troubled soul, but what a talent, and his voice defined my adolescence. Me too, absolutely. Okay, so if nothing else comes in, I wonder how you're spending your day today, and I hope it's really, really good. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always amazing that you step in and you come in and you sit down with us and you share your news. The ups and the downs, because, life is like that, isn't it? So anyway, lots and lots of love to you, wherever you are in the world. Hopefully we'll all connect again real soon. Where is the outro, love?
Video outro. I knew you might need that. It's near the bottom here.
Because when I'm managing my screen, I know what it's like.
Up a bit. Keep going up. Right, it is that one there, where it says intro sequence.
Okie dokes.
In Portugal, there's a YouTube show rings the bell and the members show to the GMP morning show. Featured guests will come and they will blow your mind. The audience will do so in kind. The little vanity mixed with some insanity on the morning show with GMP.
Good morning, Portugal, and I'd like to welcome you to another fantastic day.
Hey, GuMPers.